Cool. So with that, thanks for all of you guys who stuck around. Going to walk you guys through kind of an overview and an interactive overview of the Invoca Platform. And I'm going to do it through the lens of one of Dan's customers. So 3D Blinds is doing some pretty sophisticated things. And so I want to show you some hypothetical situations. Some they're doing today, some they are talking with us about doing. I want to show you how easy Invoca makes it to leverage this data. So, obviously, being today is omnichannel. Customers are bouncing around, but for most companies, that journey still begins with a search that takes you to the website. And so, what I've gone ahead and done is I went ahead and placed a call before, and I want to show you some of the data that Invoca collects about customers, in this case, me, which I haven't seen it, so it may be humiliating. And how we can make that actionable for you as a marketer. The challenge that I think probably everybody here is familiar with is there's really a big disconnect between kind of the insights that we get about the digital experience and what we get for those offline interactions. Omnichannel is all about understanding your customers and how they've interacted with your brand and using that to personalize as they move from touch point to touch point. But when somebody picks up the phone and makes that call, traditionally we've lost visibility, and that's a real problem. And so that's what Invoca does, is we're really about bringing the conversation back into your marketing. These are your highest converting leads by 15 to 20 times. They tend to purchase more. And so if you're not optimizing for those interactions, as we talked about earlier, you're really missing out on a lot. And so we do that really in 3 ways. So we have products Answer, Engage, Connect. Answer is about understanding what drove your calls and who's calling. Engage allows you to use that data to provide a personalized interaction in real time for that customer. And then with Connect, you tie that data throughout your entire marketing stack to improve the customer experience. And so, really the first thing we do, so we've got this customer, Daniel, who is searching for blinds. He goes to the 3D Blinds website, he picks up the phone and makes a call. Now, traditionally, that's something that looks like, it looks like you're paying for a search term that's not converting. It might be a campaign you kill. That customer calls inbound, they get the same experience as everybody else, and that's not ideal. And so the first thing that we're going to do with Answer is help you understand that, hey, this is Daniel, and here's what they searched for. In this case, it's blinds. But the other thing that we're doing is we're layering a ton of intelligence on top of that. So in addition to just that marketing attribution, we can enhance your caller profiles with third-party data, first-party data, second-party data. So in this case, using Invoca, 3D Blinds can now tell that not only did Daniel search for blinds, but that he is a homeowner, which is good for Dan. He has a high home value and he's a high net worth customer. So this is the kind of person you probably don't want to put in the same IVR as you might put me in, a renter. And so the next step in the process, right? I got a treat for you. So next, what do you do, right? So you have this data. I know who's calling. I know what drove the call. I've got a ton of valuable information about this person. It's kind of useless if you don't act on it. And so what Engage allows you to do is build what we call signals and identify specific groups of people, specific types of callers, and use that information both for reporting after the fact, but also to optimize the experience in real time. So I may take somebody who searched for a high value term or who has demographic attributes that I think are valuable, and I route them straight to my best sales team. Whereas somebody who's called repeatedly and is in the help page, that's probably a support call, so let's route them there. But taking that data and improving the customer experience is not only going to make that customer stickier, but it's going to drive a higher conversion rate. And finally, you need to connect these experiences across channels. So search may be that first interaction. The call is potentially the second, it could be third. It doesn't really matter. But it's typically not the final interaction, especially for a company like 3D Blinds, where the idea is let's set up an appointment, let's get this person in the home. And so what we need to do is think about what are the different touch points that are coming after that, and how do we get the data into the different technologies, Adobe, to optimize the investment in Adobe. So,
I like that.
So now I'm going to kind of walk you through exactly how this works. And I'm going to jump over to the platform. Maybe. Wait for it. Suspense. All right, so for those of you who aren't familiar with Invoca, this is our dashboard. And basically what this is showing you is just the high-level statistics about the calls that are coming in that are being driven by your marketing. So I've got information like how many calls am I getting? What are my top performing campaigns? Where are these coming from geographically? So that I get a good high-level understanding of kind of what's going on. But if I drill deeper, this is going to give me that aggregate level information. What I'm going to do is drill a little bit deeper. And I want to see who are these callers. Because it's not just about the quantity of calls, it's about the quality of the calls. And each caller is going to be different. What happens on that call is going to be different. And so you want to make sure that you're optimizing for the best callers, the best campaigns, and the highest conversion. And so here when I dive into these call details, what I can see is all my callers that have called recently. And right up at the top is me. I can see that I called from a blinds search ad. See my age, see where I live. I can see that I rent.
Move.
Terrible.
Please hang up.
Wait for it. I can see that I'm not high net worth. So this is true. I'm bad at that, so I don't get paid a lot. I'm worse at finance, so I might be a good customer for Jason. A couple of years ago, bought this $30,000 TV, and I thought it was an investment. Sucks. So now you guys know that about me. But the important thing here is you're getting really granular visibility about these interactions that you're having with your customers that previously you were totally blind to. I knew people were calling, but I couldn't connect it to what drove that call, what who they are, or even what happened on that call. And you've got that all in one place. And what we can now do with Engage is we can create these signals. So like I said, signals are rules that allow you to combine data like what was said on the call, what campaign drove the call, who is this person, and create groups of calls, groups of callers, and use that information in real time to improve the customer experience. So I'm going to jump over to the signal builder. And I've created some different signals. So things like people who called in and booked an appointment, people who are hot and in market because they were searching for one of our competitors, but they clicked on our ad. That's somebody we probably want to route straight to the call center. I'm going to jump into a simple one, just to kind of show you how easy it is. These are all my customers who called in blinds. So basically, campaign name equals blinds. So easy I can do it. Now, this is cool. This is valuable. I can use it to route to a blind specialist in real time. But where it becomes really valuable is when you begin combining this information. So what I can do is I can take a persona, my ideal customer profile, and I can say, you know what? I know that the best possible customer besides Cindy and her BMW, people with a household income over $100,000 who have a home that's greater than $500,000, or who are high net worth, not me, married, long story. And I can, sorry, and I can route those people directly to my best reps. What I can also do though, is I can actually combine other signals with this. So what I can do is I can add this signal and say equals to blinds callers, and I can route that person straight to my best blinds reps. So this is going to allow me to get that person directly in the hands of somebody who's going to convert that call, and this is somebody that you don't want to mess around with. Where this becomes really powerful is when you begin to do things like the call treatment. So this is where you set up your campaign. So we're all familiar with IVRs, press 1 for service, press 2 for sales. We allow you to take this information and automatically get people to the right person. And so in this case, what I want to do is at the start of the call, I want to check the condition. So was a signal met? And so what I've done for you, Dan, is I've created a signal called renters, yuck. And so this is me. And what I'm going to do is if somebody's a renter, I'm going to hang up on them. Because I don't want to waste my time on you. And so I can help you create this later. But anybody else, we're going to forward to the call center. So, joking aside, the important thing here is this is all happening in milliseconds. Before that phone even rings for the sales rep, I know who it is, I know what's going on, and I can get them right there. So this is hugely valuable in terms of driving conversions, but also improving that customer experience. So we kind of talked about what drove the call. We know the campaign that drove the call. We talked about enhancing the customer profile. We talked about improving that in-call experience. The next thing that happens is, like I said, once the call is over, the relationship's not over. We have an appointment, hopefully, that we've set, and we want to integrate this with different technologies. And so Invoca has over 30 different technologies that we're integrated with, including Adobe. One of the more recent exciting integrations we've built out is with Facebook. So Facebook is obviously the fastest growing digital advertising channel out there today, and more and more companies are coming to us and saying, we're getting a lot of pressure to invest in social. We're seeing pretty good results, but we're kind of plateaued. And what we don't know is, are we just missing some of our conversions? And so Invoca was one of the first companies to actually integrate with Facebook to bring offline conversions to their reporting. And so when I go to our Facebook ad manager here, what I can see is the campaigns that I'm running to drive calls to 3-day lines. This is something that many of you may have seen before. This is where I'm going to go in and see how many impressions did I get, how much did I spend for those, how many conversions did I get. And what you can see here is these offline conversions. So for the first time, you can now take data about what happened on a phone call, and you can use that, you can feed it into Facebook, and you can use that to justify your spend and prove that this is a good investment for you to be making. What's more is you can actually identify the demographics of people who are calling from ads on Facebook, and you can use that to improve your marketing online. So by connecting these offline experiences with digital, you're not only showing more of the revenue you're already driving, but you can improve those conversions there. And the other thing is, it's not just about pumping the data into systems and showing, hey, this works. Like I said, you want to make sure that you're providing a great experience. So the other thing that we can do is Facebook has really powerful tools for helping you identify specific groups of people. So I can create a custom audience. I can say, give me this group of people, and I want to go retarget them on Facebook. I can also create lookalike models. So take all of my best customers, and I'm going to send that list over to Facebook, and I want to identify another group of people who I've never interacted with, who look like them, and I want to retarget them on Facebook. And you can use Invoca to do that. So here, for example, I have all of my customers who are interested in wood blinds. So my customers who have called in from a campaign, blinds, have said one of these quotes. So, we've pulled data from third-party data sources, we've pulled data from Facebook, we've pulled data from Google. Now I can actually listen to that conversation, and I can hear straight from them what they're interested in. So if they say wood or wooden or mahogany, which is one of my favorite words, I can use that to target this person for wood blinds. Similarly, what I can do is I can take people who have already purchased. You guys have all gotten that display that follows you around for the purchase you just made. It sucks for you. It sucks worse for the marketer because they're irritating you and they're paying to do it. What we can do is we can take that data and we can say, let's take this group of people who purchased from us, and maybe we want to retarget them with an upsell. So I can say, all my customers who have called in about shutters, who booked an in-home appointment, and I can either remove them from my campaign or I can add them to a different one. And so what that might look like is you take these two customers, you take Daniel, who's much better than me in every way, more money, he owns a home, he's married. You take Lindsay, who traditionally, like I said, somebody calls in, you don't know a lot about her. We know that she searched for shutters, we know information about her. We kind of fast forward, and you see these two ads here on the right-hand side. They look pretty similar. Both are being retargeted on Facebook. Well, what we've done is we've taken those signals and we've said, we know that Daniel didn't book an appointment. He makes a lot of money, he's incredibly good looking, but he didn't buy. But we know that he said mahogany because he's smart and good looking. And so what we want to do is we want to retarget that person with an offer for wood blinds because we know that that's what he's interested in. Similarly, Lindsay, we know that she purchased, even though those two ads look pretty similar, we don't want to retarget her for something she's already bought. You're not going to buy blinds again 3 weeks later. So what we want to do is we want to retarget her with a referral bonus. If you refer a customer, we'll give you a $200 gift card. And we know that you're probably like a lot of other people who might buy blinds, so we're going to send that data over to Facebook and we want to target other people like you. So, walk through a lot of different scenarios, but kind of want to bring things back. There are really three things that we're doing. So the first thing that Invoca does is it helps you answer this question. Which of my campaigns are driving these offline interactions? Which of those are turning into sales, and who are those people? So answering questions about what's working and who your ideal customers are. The next thing we're doing is we're helping you drive better engagements with those customers, and we do it in real time. And we're going to help you not only do that during the call, but also feed that into Adobe to personalize the experience downstream as they interact with you and really build that relationship with you. And when marketers do this, the results are pretty incredible. Sorry for the shameless plug, but customers that work with Invoca see their total call volume increase dramatically. They see the conversion rates of those calls increase dramatically, and they see, on average, this is across all of our customer base, a 47% increase in revenue driven by calls. So these are your highest converting leads, they're the ones that purchase the most. And by understanding which of your advertisements are driving those, you can drive phenomenal results. And so that's why we work with a lot of the world's best marketers. Obviously, we have Progression here, we have 3A blinds. We work with hundreds of great brands. And so if any of you guys have questions, I'm happy to kind of walk through the product with you later. I'm happy to build out that segment for you to avoid talking to me. And yeah, thank you for taking the time and joining us today. I think now it's time to wrap up and maybe get some beverages.
All right, that's all. Thanks everyone for spending the afternoon and early evening with us.